Northeast Missouri voters hit the polls to have their say in multiple local, state, and federal elections. When Adair County Sheriff Eldon Grissom announced he won't run for re-election, Jason Lean and Jason Underwood entered the race. It would be Underwood who wins this race by just 3 votes. There were no Democrats who ran in this race, so Underwood will presumably be the next Adair County Sheriff. Before we get into the rest of the results, let's go to Trey Wiggins, who's reporting live from the Adair County Courthouse with the next Adair County Sheriff. Trey, what's going on?
Well, Nick, you told people earlier when you reported live at 6 that arguably the tightest race was the Adair County Sheriff's race between Jason Underwood and Jason Lean. Well, there's no arguing it anymore. Jason Underwood won by just 3 votes unofficially, and in fact, I'm here with Jason Underwood now to hear his reaction. Jason, it's about as close as it gets. How does it feel?
Hey, you're right. We knew it was going to be a close race. 3 votes, we'll take it though, and so we're excited about that. So it feels great. You know, it's a very humbling experience, definitely a nerve-wracking experience. Sitting there waiting for those precincts to be counted was definitely a nerve-wracking experience, but we're excited with the results.
Of course, and you told me earlier when we were talking off camera, nobody expected quite the nail-biter that was here. What is it like to be stuck in such a close race?
You know, the suspense until Friday. I mean, we've all had a lot of suspense leading up to this point. It's going to continue until Friday when it's going to be official that we won by 3 votes. You know, last night we were going door to door, and I said, hey, we're going to hit every door we can up until the last minute. And so I think it paid off. You know, we probably gained another 3 votes last night, and that got it done for us. So we're excited.
Absolutely. So let's say this is made official. What can Adair County expect?
Hey, I look forward to being sworn in on January 1st, operating a very transparent, very responsive sheriff's office, very proactive office, one that all those that look up to me for leadership feel supported in and encouraged to provide quality law enforcement to Adair County, and I cannot wait to get started.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate it, Jason. And for now, congratulations.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right, you too. It's time to send it back here to the studio. Nick, what's going on with other race results?
Thank you for that report, Trey. Also in Adair County, both commission districts had contested primaries. Let's start in the 1st district. Incumbent Bill King will keep his seat, winning 2/3 of the vote. In the 2nd district, 3 Republicans battled for 1 spot, and Gayla McHenry won 43% of the vote. McHenry will face Democrat Harley Harrelson in November. Harrelson ran unopposed in the primary. Also in Adair County, 2 Republicans were vying for the coroner position. Incumbent Brian No wins this race with 78% of the vote. No Democrats ran for this position. There were 3 other contested sheriff's races across Northeast Missouri. In Schuyler County, incumbent Joe Webker had 2 challengers. Webker won 74% of the vote. No Democrats ran in this race, so the incumbent will presumptively retain his role. Over in Sullivan County, 3 Republicans were vying for the title of sheriff. It will be Scott Frazier who gets that chance. No Democrats ran in this race either. Carl Kanaki and Jesse Sparks, the second, faced off in the battle for Knox County Sheriff. Kanaki won with 81% of the vote. And in Lynn County, Carrie Melty got the most votes to be the next sheriff. A special school levy was on the ballot for Schuyler County voters. Proposition Care would lower the debt service levy by 77 cents to offset a 67-cent increase to the operating tax levy, with the purpose of retaining staff and maintaining buildings and equipment at the school district. 59% of voters decided to say yes to this measure. The new operating tax levy will be $4.10 per $100 of assessed valuation. Putnam County voters had their say on 3 Republican candidates who are all running for the Western District Commissioner. Robert Valentine won with 71% of the vote, which was more than 50% more than Mason Pearson, who finished 2nd. The race for Schuyler Northern District Commissioner is contested on both sides of the aisle. 3 Republicans were on the ballot, and Anthony Wilson won with 55% of the vote. And on the Democratic side, Billy Jackson and Lucas McElhaney both received 27 votes. It's unclear how this draw will be resolved, but Republican Anthony Wilson will face one of these 2 in the November general election. And in the Southern District, 3 Republicans threw their name in the hat. Drew Brunner won with just over 60% of the vote. 2 Republican candidates were running for 1st District Commissioner in Macon County. Matt Shoemaker received 72% of the vote and beat out Kevin Souther. No Democrats ran in this contest. 3 Republicans were in a contested battle for Knox County Eastern Commissioner. John Greenlee got 43% of the vote, followed by Harley Hamlin at 36% and Wayne Rudd at 21%. In the Knox County Western District, 4 Republicans put their name on the ballot, but it will be Bill Wiles ultimately winning with 30% of the vote, beating out 3 other candidates. It was a day full of local races, but voters also had their eyes on various state and federal races. 5 Democrats running in the governor primary this time around. As of the last update, Crystal Quaid is leading the way with nearly 50% of the vote. On the Republican side, Mike Kehoe is leading the pack and currently has an over 40,000 vote lead. 2 Democrats were on the Democratic ballot for lieutenant governor. Richard Brown leads the way with 65% of the vote. It was a packed field of Republicans in this race. Lincoln Huff and David Wassinger in a tight battle for the #1 spot. In the Secretary of State race, Barbara Pfeiffer leads Monique Williams with roughly 40% of the votes counted. It was another stacked battle on the Republican side with 6 candidates vying for a chance to compete in the general election. Denny Hoskins currently has around 1/4 of the vote. In the race for Attorney General, only Republicans on the ballot. Incumbent Andrew Bailey is leading Will Scharf by more than 1,000 votes at last check. The Republican race for state treasurer also featured 6 Republicans. Incumbent Vivek Malik is well ahead of the pack with more than double the votes of Lori Rook, who currently sits in second. No Democrats ran for this role this time around. Moving over to federal officials, Congressman Sam Graves will face competition on both sides of the aisle. On the Democrat side, Pam May has over 70% of the vote at the last check. However, the Republican looks like he secured a chance to represent his party in the general election one more time. 4 Democrats are running in hopes of beating out U.S. Senator Josh Hawley in November. Hawley ran unopposed in the primary, but it looks like he will face Lucas Kunce, who currently has 2/3 of the vote on the Democratic side.